Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today, the Gornarus. Yeah, Wave 13. You know what? It was a pretty good wave. The ISS Enterprise, the Reklar, and the Gornarus. Like, a wave where I actually liked all three ships, and they were all really good concepts. I guess I'm giving you my overview by saying I like the Gornarus as a pack. Doesn't mean it's all great, but it's overall good. Uh, Gorn Raiders have become even better now with what's the name of it? The Gressrill. Um, but yeah, and Disruptor Bombardment and all that Gorn only tech. There's some fun Gorn things, but if we rewind, if we look back at where the Gorn started, they started with the Gornaris. Well, technically, they started with the prize ship from Arena, the Scorn, but the Gorn, the Gornaris was, the first retail version of them. A 3134, 90 only arc. When attacking with your primary weapon, if you inflict a crit to an enemy ship's hull, you may search the damage deck for a structural damage. That's the when defending, roll one less defense die, or a weapons malfunction. And I believe that's the when attacking, roll one less attack die, but it also could have been the immediately discard a weapon. I'm pretty sure it's the roll one less attack die. Either way, good, um, good crits to inflict. Like, not the best, obviously. Stunt helmsman pretty good. Injured captain also pretty good. Uh, Communications failure not hideous, but and of course direct hit, minor explosion, direct hit better than minor explosion, but those are good. These are up there if you are attacking large hull value ships and you want to uh, start making it hurt for a little bit. But yeah, I like the action bar. Anything with battle stations and scan, giving me options of quality, especially with target lock, ways to knock you down, ways for me to stay alive with evade. We're good. Um, Upgrade slots not great, but at least I can do a little bit of several things, so that is something. Maneuver dial is not fantastic, especially for a 90 only arc, but at least I get my two turns. My come about, three come abouts red. It's okay, but yeah, it's mostly it's a Klingon dial, and I'm okay with that. I would have liked a rear arc, but again, I'm okay. The generic here we can see, losing a shield, but now the generic's at 14. So named Gorn Raiders are cheaper, and unfortunately the Gornaris has not been recosted yet, but definitely paying 8 points for a named ability and a weapon slot. I mean, the weapon slot's nice on a Gorn Raider. Don't get me wrong. Um, the generic Gorn Raider not getting disruptor bombardment is a big thing, but it's not really worth an 8 point premium. The first captain is Seslak or Sislik. Siseslak? Yeah, I don't know. It's Gorn. It's lizard speak. It's do you view that you need to pronounce every consonant and vowel? I don't know. It's a made up language. Uh, but for a 5 skill captain with a talent slot, you can do far worse than Mr. Slack here. Um, when attacking during the modified attack die step, you may convert a blank into a battle station result or a battle station into a hit. So most times you are getting quality from this. If you have a battle station token, right now your blank becomes a battle station, becomes a hit. Or if you don't, and you got a target lock, you re-roll your blanks and maybe and your battle stations, because why not? And you roll, and now if you come up with a battle station again, then you're fine. Yeah, I'm sure I could really get detailed with the math. I don't want to, but for the most part, Seslak is always helping you. There's no reason that this captain doesn't help you, and that's what I like. He does feel underpowered. Um, he's not doing a ton for his ability, uh, but he is still at least a viable option. Never my first go to, but it is when attacking. So Seslak with Disruptor Bombardment is actually a nice combo if you want to go Gorn Pure or uh, you want to use, say, Car somewhere else, because Car is really the best uh, captain with Disruptor Bombardment. I'm sure there's others. Ahab Picard would actually be pretty good, but Seslak is not a bad option. Slar is the other captain. And all Slar does for skill 3 and 2 points is you can field the Salvage Elite Talent upgrade. Now, what does Salvage do? Because in order to understand if Slar is any good, um, we should know if Salvage is any good. If a ship is destroyed within range 1 to 2 of your ship, you may discard this card and disable all of your active shields to steal a tech or weapon upgrade with a cost of 5 or less from the ship that was just destroyed. If you do so, place a disable upgrade token on the stolen upgrade and place an Ox Power token beside your ship. Okay, so a lot of conditions. First, a ship actually has to die. Second, it has to die within range 1 to 2 of your ship. Third, it has to have tech or a weapon that you want. I guess that's 3 and 4 conditions. First, it has to have a tech or weapon. 4, you have to want that upgrade. 5, that upgrade has to cost 5 or less. Then, condition 6, you have to lower your shields. Condition 7, you're putting an Ox Power token on it. On your ship. Condition 8, you are disabling that upgrade, so you're not getting it right away, which is fine. That actually makes thematic sense with Salvage. Doesn't make a ton of good game sense. It does make mechanical sense and thematic sense. I'm not arguing that, but it doesn't make me want to run Salvage. Also, it's not like Slar runs Salvage for a discount or for free. He just can field Salvage. Um, yeah. I, I don't like Slar. I don't really care for Salvage. The concept's cool. The concept is neat, especially in like a campaign. But aside from that, I'm not really buying it. All right, faked messages. This is a card that, well, is meta in today's game. It is probably one of the top 5 talents. Period. And it just works. During the planning phase, after every ship's maneuver has been chosen, you can discard this card, target an enemy ship that's not within range 1 to 3 of your ship, force that ship to change its maneuver to a white 1 straight. Okay? It's simple, but it is effective. It is just, nope, you are doing a 1 straight. You wanted to do something else? Tough. I really don't care. Now, this is lethal, potentially, in combination with lure. You lure somebody's ship on a turn, and then the next turn you faked messages them, and now they're just in a really bad spot, and that hurts. Now, this is 5 points, but this is one of the very few 5-point discard cards, let alone talents, that I actually like and will run because movement is such a critical aspect of this game, and guessing maneuvers. So if you can control a movement of your opponent, you are in a much better position than they are. All right. Kind of the first stab at a Gorn weapon. Targeted phaser strike. Now this is a 4 die, range 1 to 3, attack, disable. In addition to inflicting normal damage, for every hit or crit result, disable one weapon upgrade on the target ship, max of 2. The upgrade costs 4 more points for any ship other than a Gorn Raider. So here's what I'll say. In era games, the Gorn versus TOS and animated Klingons against the Enterprise, the other Constitutions, Mirandas, Oberths, maybe some Excelsiors, against Tholians. I could see this being a thing. The problem is, against everything else, it just doesn't work. It's so rough because it doesn't hit hard enough to be viable. Okay, jammed communications. This is a card that I kind of wish more people would play because I think that there's something to it. Although a lot of ships run isolated ships, but its action, all ships within range 1 to 3 of your ship, including your own, cannot provide or benefit from any text abilities that affect other friendly ships this round. Place an Ox power token beside your ship. So yeah, it's not even a one shot. It's just action. Do it. You take an Ox, but who cares? You can just run this on a ship that goes out going, jam communications, jam communications, jam communications. Now watch somebody go, oh, the real version of it says discard, and it very well might, but I don't think it does. Let's see. Not hammed. Let's see. This is the old attack wing preview. That looks like it's just a straight up action. Yeah. Well, hey, now you can see what some of the artwork looks like. So that's something. But yeah, Jam Communications is a good card because of what I'm talking about. Now, what does it stop? Right, so it stops things like Denatra, anything that transfers tokens. Martok 8, it stops all of these. It stops Hollow Communicator. There's a lot of play that Jammed Communications really does muck up. Now, it doesn't shut down a lot of other things. It doesn't shut down the super defensive Hood Riker, Sutherland builds and all of that because those are ship contained. So yeah. All right. Another tech, because Jam Communications was a tech, is Impulse Overload. This is an action discard. Target a ship at range 1, roll 3 attack dice. If you roll at least a hit or crit, the target ship must discard a tech. I've never liked something that I have to discard and then roll. And granted, I should succeed on this, but I very easily could fail. And only if I roll the right thing do they then lose something. And I'm already spending 5 points to equip this. Almost no tech that anyone runs costs more than 5 points. So I've spent more points to try to maybe get rid of their thing. Oh, and we have to be at range 1. Than they spent equipping it. I've lost. And then I'm getting rid of I'm spending my action And every once in a while, I'm still going to lose out. See, that's why impulse overload isn't worth it. It's not that any given time it won't work, it's that there's always a chance that it won't work. Now, the other tech in here is improved deflector screens. And this is really good, a really good tech. Now, it can only go on ships with a hull value of 3 or less. And no ship can have more than one, so it is ship unique here. But it's when defending during the compare results step. If you have any active shields, you cancel a hit or crit result. You just say, nope, I'm not dealing with that. See, this was a card that actually feels really balanced because you're limited in what you can put it on. The low hull value ships typically don't have the slots to support a ton more shields being added onto them. There tends to be a way to crack those ships eventually. And even if there's not, those ships tend not to be worth all the points in the world, and or they don't have a super high attack value. So even if you don't ever mess with them, they're not going to go around and destroy the rest of your fleet. Yes, they will be annoying. Yes, they will make attacks on your fleet and hurt your fleet, but they won't actually just like go around destroying it, right? Imagine if you could put this on the Borg, and the Borg, like a Borg sphere, said, okay, every round you cancel a hit or crit. Uh, and and at the same time, the Borg also have 6 attack dice. Well, we see a bit of that with shield adaptation, where it's, hey, secondary weapons roll 1 less die, and primary weapons roll 2 less dice. Because you know what's better than canceling hits and crits? Making your opponent just roll less dice. I mean, I guess technically a crit cancellation is worth like 8 dice, and a hit cancellation is worth, well, 2 and 2/3 of a die, something like that. It's 3/8 inverted, so 8/3 of a die. Yeah, 2 and 2/3. Anyway, so canceling a hit or a crit is worth 2 dice. Nevertheless, this is balanced. Shield adaptation is not balanced. That's a card I'm surprised didn't see play in the December Fremont tournament. Because with limitations on attack cancellation, what's better than just reducing dice? Yeah, I don't know. The last card in this pack is Gorn Raiding Party. And, I have yet to meet a raiding party that I actually like. Yeah, this one does not change my opinion. It's action. If your ship is not cloaked, disable all your remaining shields. At that point, I'm typically out. Target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked. Target ship must disable 2 of its active shields. I'm kind of back in. If the target ship has no active shields, or if this action causes the target ship to have no active shields, discard this card and disable all upgrades on the target ship. If this card didn't cost 5, I'd actually be on board. But there's still not enough here to make me actually like it. It's just a little wonky. Now, disabling a whole bunch of upgrades sounds really promising. Especially being able to knock out 2 of their shields in the process. I mean, that can be helpful just in and of itself. It's me losing my remaining shields. That's what is dicey for me. Because in the same time, in the same time that I'm trying to hurt them, I'm also becoming much more exposed, and I lose the captain skill war. I just know that I do. So, for the most part, I need my crew slot to do something more effective than this. And that's the trade off. That's where I'm at on this. But don't let the last card in this pack determine the overall goodness of the pack. Improved Deflector Screens is a high level card. Jam Communications is fringe, really good, and if not, it's solid. Faked Messages is a top tier card. Ceslac is at least interesting. And the Gornarus itself is an interesting ship, not a great ship because of the cost. Before recosting, the Gornarus was playable, not highly playable, but was at least playable. And even today, could still see play, but I feel like you're not being ideal in the way that you're playing. So that was the Gornarus overall. A lot to like there, and definitely a lot to at least consider going out and getting. All right, that's it for me. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.